What's up, guys? It's Vic here with Strikers Reptiles, and today I am finally done procrastinating. I am starting a video that I've been wanting to do for a long time, which is the beginning of our yellow Ackie monitor breeding project. Now, if you guys follow me on Instagram, you'll know that a couple weeks ago I actually pulled 5 good-looking eggs from this pair of yellow Ackie monitors. That's Varanus acantharus. So here's my male right here, and there's the female. Now this is just going to be sort of an introductory video. I'm going to take this series as far as I possibly can with just making new content. There's really not a lot of content out there on breeding Ackie monitors, but I do just want to make sort of a disclaimer. I've only bred Ackie monitors this one time. The eggs are in the incubator. They haven't hatched. So, you know, I'm by no means an expert. I can by no means tell you what's going to happen as a result of this breeding project, but I am going to detail all of my findings and experiences in this video series because there's not a lot of information on breeding these guys that's just readily available. And I've spoken to a lot of keepers, a lot of long-time monitor breeders who've given me a lot of good information. And I just want to basically share whatever information and experience I compile so that these animals can be kept more effectively. So guys, if you want to follow me on this Ackie monitor breeding journey, as well as keeping up with my other content, I would encourage you to hit that subscribe button and the bell icon so you get a notification whenever I upload a new video. I'd be absolutely thrilled to have you guys following me on this journey. It's going to be a learning process for me. I'm going to make mistakes, but I am going to learn from all of them, and I'm going to research and continually do everything I can to provide what's in the best interest of the animals. So this part 1 introduction is going to be all about how I introduced these 2 yellow Ackie monitors to first my collection and then each other with great success. Now, I will say that not all monitors are built for being cohabitated with each other. Some people would argue that none should be cohabitated. The reason that I cohabitate these 2 is because they are both incredibly peaceful individuals, even during their most aggressive mating sessions. I've never witnessed any violence, maybe a little nipping, but nothing harmful whatsoever. The female is a decent bit smaller than the male. I don't know if you guys can see her body that well, but just their heads, you can tell. He's about 1.5 times her weight and length. Now that being said, he's an incredibly gentle male. The breeder I got him from actually had a female that attacked him, who just, oh, see, pulled his head away. Come here, buddy. He's a nice guy. Very gentle boy. Look, she's interested now. Like, hey, why are you petting him? But anyway, something I do have that I believe all cohabitated monitors should have is the ability to divide my monitors. So I don't have the divider in right now, but here's my slot on this custom built enclosure, which does allow me to insert a custom fitted piece of wood that would separate these 2. Now the female would get the one with the deeper substrate, and the male would have the more climbing opportunities. Although I do intend to introduce more climbing opportunities to both sides of the cage. The male here is a bit more of a climber, the female a bit more of a burrower, and then of course she needs the burrowing opportunities for her eggs. But that's all content I'll get into in another video. Right now I'm just talking about how I brought these 2 into the collection and then peacefully introduced them to each other. So what I started with, I sourced 2 Ackie monitors. Now I was given a guarantee on the male sex because he was a proven breeder. I was given basically not a guarantee but a probably on the female. I purchased her from a guy who said she's most likely a female. If you are going the route of purchasing Ackie monitors for breeding, you're most likely going to have to settle for some unsexed babies. Most breeders will not guarantee the sex when they sell you babies. It's just, you know, it's kind of a guessing game. You can't really guarantee it when they're young. So unless a male flashes his hemipenes or a female lays eggs, you basically can't be sure. But I lucked out. Turns out I do have one male who I knew was a male all along and one female who proved to be a female when she laid eggs a couple weeks ago. With the introduction, I of course started with a 90-day quarantine. I brought these two in. I had them in PVC enclosures, just some 4x2, kind of shorter than I would have liked. PVC enclosures, just to have them completely separate from each other, separate from my collection. The reason that you quarantine any animal you bring into your collection is, of course, to watch for signs of any illnesses or diseases, and just make sure that you're not going to introduce any nidovirus or just a simple respiratory infection to the animals that you already keep and know are healthy. So after 90 days of quarantine, I began the introduction process. At that point, I had this custom built enclosure made. This is a 4x2x3 enclosure, just made of simple plywood and 2x2 boards from Home Depot, treated with dry lock. That's what the white paint is, just to keep the moisture out. Here the female's coming out to bask. So I built this simple enclosure with divider, filled it with sandy soil, and I placed the female in first. Now the reason that you do that is you don't want the female encroaching on the male's territory. Now a lot of people say that monitors are territorial. I don't really agree. I think that they can wig out when their personal space is interrupted. So what I did, I introduced the female first to the enclosure, the new enclosure. I let her settle in for a couple of days, and then I placed the male in. Now, I would always recommend, if you're introducing a male to a female, don't just put them in and leave. Watch for a while, make sure that they're getting along pretty well. Now, these two, they pretty much ignored each other for the first few days. But as they started spending more time together, it was like they developed a bond and sort of, not that reptiles really do, but they sort of grew more interested in mating with each other, and that's what ended up happening. So full quarantine procedure, introducing the female first, and having the availability of a divider are my three, what I'd call, keys to success so far in my limited experience cohabitating Ackie monitors. Like I said, this is just going to be part one of the series. I want to keep the videos somewhat short. I don't want to go on these 45-minute rants or anything. So this is going to be part one. And I do want to state again, guys, there are a lot of reptile keepers out there, or breeders, who will breed once or breed even 0 times, and they start peddling this information, creating this content and saying, they know exactly what to do, or they're some kind of expert. That's not me. This is my journey that I'm posting here to document, hold myself accountable, and share my experiences with others so they can learn. But I am by no means an expert. So everything that I'm detailing here is at your own risk. Everyone should, consult with experts and do a lot more research before they take the advice that I'm giving. But this is just part one. So like I said, make sure you're subscribed. Appreciate all you guys that are already subscribed, and have a great one.